and welcome to CSL Leesburg. I am Tamara, and this year for 2026, we are exploring the theme of Open at the Top. For the month of May, one more day in May, we have the theme of Divine Doubt. And the title of our talk today is, let me look at my notes because this is a long one, Doubt as Devotion, Questioning as an Act of Love. And it will be presented by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. We are so glad that you took some time out of your day to join us. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations that you would like us to include, please drop them in the chat, and Reverend Charlene will be sure that she includes them when we get to our prayer portion of our service, which we call Spiritual Mind Treatment. It is a form of affirmative prayer, and we'll include your celebrations and your prayer concerns. All right, that's all I have to say to get things started. Sit back, please just take a nice deep breath and enjoy our opening video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. And so it is. And now it is time for the meditation portion of our service. So today I selected the Breath of Life meditation. And I know I've done this once before, but this one is the one that jumped out and called to me for our service today. The purpose of this meditation is to balance or shift your vibration, bringing you focus of consciousness and bringing it back to your true self. So with all that being said for my introduction, like I said earlier, just sit back, relax, maybe sink a little deeper into your chair, shrug your shoulders, release any tension that you might be carrying. And as always, we're going to begin with a deep breath in and hold and release. And I usually do that 2 or 3 times, but this is the Breath of Life meditation. So we're going to be doing a lot of breathing through this. And what you're going to hear is an affirmation, and I'm going to say it 3 times. And as I say this, I want you to uh, practice holding your breath and slowly releasing it. And we're going to listen to this affirmation, and then we're going to do our breathing exercise. And then we're going to listen to it again and see if there was some kind of a shift after we did our deep breathing. So, our first affirmation is I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And think about those words as we do our deep breathing, our breath of life. So we're going to breathe in for 7 seconds, hold for 3, and then release. Breathe in, thinking, I love my life. Hold and release. I love my life. Let's do that again. Breathing in. Hold and release. Now listen to these words. I love myself. I love my life. I love myself. Do you feel a difference from the first time I said them to now after we did our breathing? Maybe. Let's try one more. All right, this one is I trust myself. I trust myself. Do you feel any resistance when you hear those words? Trust myself. All right, let's do our breathing. Ready? Inhale for the count of 7 and hold and release. I trust myself. Let's inhale. And hold. And release. How does that feel now? I trust myself. I trust myself and where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I am divinely guided. Did you feel a shift? Let's try one more. I value myself. I value myself. Let's breathe in. And hold. And release. And again, I value myself. Breathe in. And hold. And release. I value myself. I know that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I value myself. The questions, the doubts, do we call mistakes? The stumbles, the life lessons. I value myself. All right, that is the breath of life and building in a little bit of affirmations and seeing if we can shift our consciousness when we go into that sacred pause, that meditation. All right, without further ado, we have music by Aaliyah. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Tamara. And in continuing to breathe with you and breathe affirmation, this is a song by Elisa S. Keeler called Every Part of Me. I want to invite, as you're willing and able, invite you to sing along. I'll put the lyrics in the chat. It goes like this. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling through every part of me. So now I'm going to feed it into the loop, but keep singing with me. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. My heart is open, my roots are anchored, my breath is traveling to every part of me. My breath, my heart, my roots, every part of me. One more time. My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. Shall we keep singing? My heart is opening, my roots are anchoring, my breath is traveling to every part of me. Can you guys hear me okay? Yay. All right. So my internet may have or may not have been here the whole time. It's good to see you back. I'm just looking for faces as I give this talk. Of those of you who have your camera open, just give me that look, or I'll be frozen, so I won't see the look. Hi. Okay. Good morning and welcome. I love that chant, My Heart is Opening. So thank you, Leah, for this song. I did hear most of it. Happy fifth Sunday. And I think it's going to be my tradition now to read you word for word on the fifth Sunday, the reading that is given to me. I told you they give me a whole outline and it's really good. And this time I need to read it to you word for word. And I'm going to start my talk with this and I'm going to take you on a journey. So here's the reading. Now, you know, the book of the month is Disciplines of the Spirit by Howard Thurman. So the actual reading is, sometimes the radiance of love is so soft and gentle that the individual sees themselves with all harsh lines wiped away. Kind along that song that Leah just sang. Radiance of love so soft and gentle that the individual sees themselves with all harsh lines wiped away, all limitations just blended with their strengths. And so happy a combination that strength seems to be everywhere and weakness nowhere to be found. This is part of the magic spell of love. Now, as I move into the audio setting of noise removal, good, I'm already there. So do you feel that, right? When you're in the throes of love, this is the part of the magic. Sometimes its radiance kindles old fires that have long since grown cold from the neglect of despair, or new fires kindled by a hope born full blown, without beginning and without end. Sometimes the same radiance blesses a life with a vision of its possibilities never before dreamed of or caught.
stimulating new endeavor and summoning all latent powers to energize the life at its innermost core. This is love at its finest. My heart is opening. My love is waking. Like this is through every part of me. Man. Now, there's another side of the coin. He goes on to say, Howard Thurman in Disciplines of the Spirit. This is page 122, 123. But there are other ways by which love works its perfect work. There is a steady anxiety that surrounds our experience of love. It may stab the spirit by calling forth bitter, scathing self-judgments. The heights to which it calls may seem so high that all incentive is lost, and the individual is stricken with utter hopelessness or despair. It may throw in relief, old and forgotten weaknesses to which one has made the adjustment of acceptance, but which now stir in their place to offer themselves as a testimony of one's unworthiness and to challenge the love with their embarrassing reality. At such times, one expects love to be dimmed in the mistaken notion that it is ultimately based upon merit and worth. Behold the miracle, he finishes up. Love has no awareness of merit or demerit. It has no scale by which its portion may be weighed or measured. It does not seek to balance by giving and then hoping to receive. Love gives. This is its nature. What? So how did Howard Thurman know about the week that I had last week? You know how all this stuff works, right? The divine never sits me in front of a lesson I'm supposed to teach that I didn't already catch, and I didn't realize that's what was going on. So there I was, feeling unworthy, not good enough. Also throw in all the old chestnuts. You're too fat. You're a mess. You're too this. I mean, I have a whole thing. I have about 12 things that were the height of scathing self-judgment that he is talking about. This is that opposite side of love. And then I had the wherewithal, because I am good at disassociation, turns out, that I was able to view my feelings about myself from a point of view that said, hold up, wait a minute, who's really talking? And then I did this thing where I asked myself, so let's look at the first one. You're fat. Okay, let's talk about that. So if you lost, let's be generous, 20 entire pounds, which no, but let's say you did. Would your life be any different? Would you then start judging yourself because you should have lost it earlier? And now that, and then I said, okay, Shar, let's do another one. I went down all 12 of these unworthiness reasons that I shouldn't be worthy of love. And I said, okay, so, oh, you're broke. Okay, all right. So if $80,000, I don't know why I chose that number, but if that dropped right in your lap right now, then what would you do? And what happens in these moments is I realize that I've never been really broke, but there are times when I feel rich. And so then I just spend with no idea, with no plan. And then I judge myself for having spent with no plan. And then I realize if somebody dropped 80,000 on my lap, I'd probably go spend it without a plan. And there we would be right back here. So what is it? What's really going on? Howard Thurman wrote about it in 1963. This book, this page was written, well, it was published in 1963. Homegirl was also born in 1963. Coincidence? Maybe. Let me tell you something. Why did he already say the heights to which it calls, this scathing self-judgment, the height to which it calls may seem so high that all your incentive is lost and you start to feel hopeless and despair. These, can you lay down? These moments are meant to be here. This is where we get to have a journey that thinks that we're awesome and we're amazing and we're in alignment with who we really are. And then there's a part of us that fears that maybe this isn't true. And that part of us, when it's holding on to us in the moment, we start finding evidence of how that voice, oh, it's true. It must be true. Look how messy my room is. Look how, if I were better, I would have I would have done, I would have had, I would have been. And love is just like, we just love you. You're just loved. And when I'm out of alignment with that love, I could start judging myself. And when I get back into alignment, which was pretty simple, all I had to do was look at it. All I had to do, you guys, was look at these lies about myself and challenge each and every one. And then pretty much say that it's my thought about that thing that makes me feel that way. And all I have to do is let that thought go, practice what we have here to learn, meditation, affirmations, that was really key, and affirmative prayer. And that after having written it down, because journaling, that's one of those things, get it out of your mind and onto paper. Now it's on black and white. And you're like, well, that's just silly. Now it's about, well, where did that come from? What are your beliefs? What beliefs are underneath that? And that's where I'm going to start this conversation today. Because Science of Mind, this teaching from Ernest Holmes, it's kind of magical. It applies and it heals. I don't care where you are and what you're doing. If you're having a hard time, there's something that will definitely heal. Somebody wants to come out. Do you see her back there? Do you see her? You want to go out? Go see Blake. Bye. She's going to go explore the house. She's a good girl. I might regret that later. So Ernest Holmes, he says this on The Science of Mind, the definitive edition, because there's a lot of different editions. He goes, there's no one who believes more in faith, more in prayer, or more in the necessity of the divine will being done than one who practices daily the science of mind. Wait, what? Literally, when I tell you that this teaching, because we're not dogmatic, because we don't purport to have a formula that comes from another being besides our own connection to the divine, because we're all about sit in the moment that you're in, catch the message that's coming in, and allow it to change your life. That's the teaching. There's no one who believes more in faith, prayer, and the necessity of the divine will being done than one who practices the science of mind. That's powerful. Now, so let's get into what that's about, because if we think about religion, let's just call it religion, because nobody is born into just knowing our connection and having words for it. We're typically born into an environment where they're going to give us words on how to think about the divine. They're going to call it God, or they're going to call it Allah, or they're going to call it the one, divine feminine, or the all that is. Most people, let's just call it God in this moment. We are given an idea of what God is. Now, dogma would have you never doubt what God is, and your goal is to refute every experience you're having and replace it with what you heard about God. And that is just asking for trouble. Typically, it's asking for trouble. I'm not going to speak for you, but for me, it's asking for trouble. So, doubt is actually the foundation of a practical faith, the one that you can practice, because you're supposed to have curiosity. You're supposed to have curiosity. When a child raises their hand in Bible school or whatever, Quran school, whatever school, and you're asking a question about that teaching because you are being given an idea of the divine, well, when you raise your hand and ask a question, how are you treated? How are you treated when you refute the idea that there's an apple and there was a woman who led the man astray? Because you know them women, they know how they do. How are you treated when you raise your hand and you ask a question? If you cannot question those that are trying to give you their idea of the divine, which is like a long game of telephone where the message has been changed over time, and you're supposed to just take that in and forget everything you feel and just go with what you have been told. Can you question? Because that doubt, when you raise your hand and you have doubt, that's supposed to bring up the curiosity, and curiosity is what you need on your journey. Your curiosity, it needs to be nurtured. It needs to be invited and welcomed. And so Science of Mind is based on the idea that our thoughts and our actions, they become our lives. Your thoughts and your actions become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. And this is how we are in we're living in great intention if we choose to. We get the life we want because we're thinking about what we do want, and we're acting like we want to act. We're acting like the person would act when they're living the life they want. You got to be it in order to see it. When we're doing that, the idea that our thoughts and actions are powerful, and we can use our thoughts and our actions to take us deeper and deeper and more connected to our version of the divine, then we have a deeper, more personalized experience of God. And if everybody can have their own relationship with God or Allah or Buddha or the divine, call it what you want to call it, if everybody can touch that hem, then, oh my goodness, what a world we would live in. If we were allowed to have our own experience with the divine and live to our own highest and best, not one that has been dictated to us, but that is coming through us, then we're going to be living and giving our gifts to the world. And each of us has a special gift. And I always say this, but it's like that beautiful stew where each member adds their little spiciness or adds their flavor. And what a beautiful stew it is. We don't get to judge it. That's all. But you got to have your doubt, which leads to curiosity, which leads to practicing what you're being taught in a way that gives you a personal connection to the divine. Now, we take this doubt that's internal with ourselves, and we're taking what we've been told, and we're doing a little science experiment or two. We're kind of taking notes, and we're watching how it unfolds. And if we take that doubt and we put it towards institutions and governments and budgets and whole societal constructs, then we get to ask, raising the hand again, I have a question. Sir, you said in that last time that you were going to XYZ, but I noticed your behavior doesn't match. Can you tell me more about that? What are you doing when you ask questions that you do have curiosity? You are trying to thread the needle of accountability, and something doesn't smell quite right. Something in the milk, not quite right. You get to slide that hand right on up. Excuse me, I have a question. When we can doubt our environment, whatever the standards, whatever the societal norms, whenever you notice something, because you get to be you in this world, you get to ask. Integrity. If you hold integrity high, then you do that in your life, and you get to point out when you're not seeing integrity play out in front of you. Now, if that institution never said that they were even going to try to have integrity, well, now let's figure out what is ours to do to move towards more alignment in our surroundings. So that's whether you're at work, whether you are in a home environment where there's a little bit of a power play at hand, you get to have the life you want to live as long as it's in alignment with the highest for all. Integrity, love, joy, beauty, you get to have that. There's no reason to have anything less. So we're talking about doubt helping us to notice where we're not living in our highest. And it's almost now causing our curiosity to have a mandate for change. And some people that hear that say, oh, great, I have a mandate to change how you are acting. Hold on. Our mandates are like our boundaries. We get to decide what we will and will not accept. And when we have a boundary around a certain behavior, well, you can communicate. First of all, you communicate. Ouch. That's the best communication form. If someone does something to hurt you, do they know it? You say ouch, and then watch their face. Oh, they had on earphones. Take out your earphones. Ouch. Oh, was I standing on your foot? They just didn't know. If you caught their attention and you told them ouch, and they're still not changing, this could be individual relationships, family relationships, government. If you told your society ouch, and they did not act like they heard you, well, we need to make a change. And sometimes it's changing your environment, changing your surroundings, changing what you will accept, and holding your own life to a higher level of expectation so that others can meet you there. And if they can't meet you there, well, you're holding your boundary about what you will and will not accept, and then watch how things unfold. So if your action/inaction is informed by, first of all, your curiosity, your faith, your high level, even your doubt, your next step, if it's informed, Science of Mind says you pray, meditate, affirmative prayer, when I say pray, and you do your affirmations, things will come to you. You're going to see more than what you saw before. You're going to see options. You're going to have avenues made available to you that were otherwise hidden. This is what happens when you're more in the flow of your life, spending more time in meditation, listening more to what the divine would have you do. And the answer is typically right there. But a lot of times I've seen this in my own life. Oh, the answer's there, but it's hard. And I don't want to be mean. I should be nice. I shouldn't speak up. I shouldn't ruffle any feathers. I'll just go along to get along. Typically, that doesn't end well, but you do you. It's just a matter of once you notice it, you've got to follow that thread. Follow that thread. There's only goodness if you're using your highest and your best. Your actions, your intentions are for the highest and best for all involved. That can be the avenue. And you end up with a different version, your own customized, bespoke version of God, Buddha, Allah, whatever it is that is your useful term for that higher power that loves you, that is everywhere all at once, that is in and as every being, and is all the highest and best. That you get to redefine what that is for you. You get to take the original story that was handed to you, and you get to say, well, in my experience, it feels a little more like this is true. And you follow that angle, and then you'll be listening and thinking and feeling and praying, and then you feel something else and you follow that. Your journey to the divine, to the seat of the soul, is one that doesn't look like anybody else's. There are lots of overlaps, which is why we have beautiful spiritual community. But everyone's internal connection is their own. It's like a fingerprint. It's their own connection to the divine. And so this comes through a vision of a God who doesn't say, don't doubt. It says, oh, yeah, no, in general, this is what you were told, but come, let's be specific. This is what it is for you. And the words that we use to talk about and feel into our loving God, our loving mother, father, spiritual life, universal, that energy, those words we use, they're our words. And it's kind of cool to be able to use all the words in a community that lets everything's fine. What do you call it? Think about a science of mind that would force you to call it one thing or force you. There's one quote. Yeah, this one, faith. Okay, so here, a couple things, supporting quotes here. I really want you to catch this. Where faith is a faculty by Ernest Holmes in Science of Mind. Faith is a faculty of the mind. And what it does, it finds its highest expression in the religious attitude. Yes. But always this person who has faith in their own ability accomplishes much more than one that has no confidence in themselves. So we're saying faith is an idea, it's an embodiment, but you got to bring it to your life and then live from your life with faith, that's going to look different. And it's different. It's like someone who says, I have faith, and they sit on their couch and they just eat the bonbons, of which we speak all the time. I have faith. There'll be a check. Faith without works, you know what they say, it's dead. You may have a conviction that your check is coming. And if you're giving insight into what to do next, please do it. Show up, give, serve, be in the world so that you could be there to get the check, if that's what your faith is leading you to. So it's two-sided. I'm gonna sit in my beingness and contact the divine, and then as I reach out, the divine reaches to me. So many images come to me. I'm thinking of the Sistine Chapel now. Isn't that where Adam reaches out and then God's reaching the man? And if you look, yes, Tamara's giving me the symbol. Yeah, it's if you look really closely, they are doing some sacred geometry. I was studying that over the week. A lot of stuff happened this week. People were saying that it's a mapping of the brain. Like if you look, you could see like a mapping of the brain, because where the pituitary gland meets the back of your brain, the little pituitary gland, that's God. That's how we perceive God. That's the human reaching out to the divine, that little point right there. It's interesting. I have so much fun going down rabbit holes. But when I looked at this Howard Thurman quote, and I saw that we're supposed to have moments where we think that we're trash, and then moments where we know we are awesome, divine individuals, we're supposed to have both of those. That is the human experience. And it's kind of why we came here, to experience the illusion, the Maya of separation, while also knowing that we're one with all that is. And that's the whole interplay of living this life. So what a fun place to be, right? 5th week of May. All right, so that's about it for me. I was looking for one more thing. Do I have any requests for prayer? Great. Okay, so all I want to say to you is that stay open and stay curious. As these next 2 weeks, I'm heading off to a vacation, much needed. As these 2 weeks unfold, look for ways in which your curiosity is telling you, maybe find out a little more. And then see if you can bring new pieces of information, new points of view into your meditation, and ask for Spirit to unfold within you some new idea, some new thought, some new thing, because you want to stay open at the top. You want to stay growing. And we all know that the plant does sprout forth from that seed. And we don't seek to hold on to the seed and get mad at the seed for changing because we like things the way they were. No, the seed's supposed to break open and bring forth new things. And so look for the new, be curious, and allow doubt to lead the way. All right, let's go within and pray. There's only one divine energy, one power moving in and through and as each and every one of us. That energy and all of the infinite potentiality that has not been revealed yet, all of that is at hand right now. We are individually living one life. That life is God. That life is Allah. That life is Mother, Father, God. That life is universal intelligence. It's everywhere present. It's right here, right now. And it is so, whatever you want to call it, it is so home. The word that comes is home. It is your home, my home. It is the place of the Most High, what they called it in Egypt. It's in each and every one of us, but it's like a temple of the Most High, way in the back of the pyramids, way in the back. There's a chamber. That little spot, that little divine spot. That's where the spark of divine intelligence, wholeness, and life. That is our truth. And everything around it is structures that we build around it. But if you're being honest, the high watch, the holy high place of the divine, well, that's in each and every one of us, and we can go there at any time. All the answers are there. Every possibility is there. It supports everything we do. Its purpose is to just love, just give and love us exactly how we are. We're worthy. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to earn anything to be okay. We are loved. We are magnificent. So in this sense of wholeness and completeness, wow, what can we do? How can we give? How can we serve? How can we show up in this world sharing that knowledge that we are all okay? And then following it, every curious thread to its fruition and watching the miracle of life just keep unfolding and unfolding and unfolding all around us. So as we move into these next 2 weeks, I speak my word that life is just shining and shimmery and golden, even in the face of all of these things that say it isn't so. I know the truth, and the truth is love is all there is. And we are one with that. So I release my word into the law. I know that all is well, all is unfolding perfectly. I let it be, and so it is. Ashe.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Reverend Charlene. I'm always listening and aware of how Spirit is orchestrating the service. And I was thinking, is there a specific song that would partner well with this talk? And the last thing you said before you led us into the prayer and the meditation is allow love to lead the way. So this is one of my theme songs. Love, would you guide my feet? Love, would you light my path? Love, lead the way. Love, would you fill my needs? Love, would you do the math? Love, lead the way. Lead the way. Lead the way. And I will walk with trust today. All I do and all I say, I will follow. Love's gonna lead the way. When I don't know what I'm doing, when nothing feels okay, I know love is gonna lead the way. When everything feels broken and I'm holding fear at bay, I know love always leads the way. Lead the way. Come on and lead the way. And I will walk. I will walk with trust today. And all I do and all I say, I will follow, and love will lead the way. Love's gonna lead the way.
There we go. Now I'm unmuted. Thank you so much, Reverend Charlene. Thank you, Leah. I don't know about you guys, but I think that last song is just going to be playing on autoplay, taking me through my day. What a great inspirational song. All right, folks. So now is the time that we recognize and express our gratitude for the donations that you send in. You've heard me say it before, but I got to say it again that we are able to do what we do because of your generosity, because of your donations. And odds are, if you're a regular here at CSL Leesburg, you found a way that works for you. But if not, please take a moment, look at our screen. If you need to, you can always go to our website and look for that donate button. And I'm sure that you can find a way that works for you. What do we do with what comes in? We have our message. Reverend Charlene made reference to the fact that we have our home office and they give us the materials for the talks on Sunday. They also supply materials for workshops and classes. And we also are able to do what we do on Sundays, coming out to you and bringing in our wonderful guest musicians and guest speakers. And also, we're always on the lookout for organizations that share our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. So we practice what we preach. As you heard in the opening video, as you give, so shall you receive. There's a law of circulation that is always, always happening. You give, you receive. That's how the universe works. So with all that being said, please join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. All right. Any other announcements?
We
So,
do.
Charlene, I'm
Yeah.
going to turn this over to you.
Okay, sure. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
All righty. So here is my latest brainstorm result. Sometimes I sit looking around for songs that can give me that rooted feeling that Leah was singing in the first song. And I figured out, oh, we could just create videos. I could generate music through AI and I can I can generate music that comes through at a certain hertz, a frequency that lets you heal through that frequency. I was sharing the link with people earlier and just here it is. Some of you got it through my text. I just spammed everybody who I had recently texted and I sent you one shortcut to it, but it's now a whole podcast. I've got 3 episodes up. One of them is for the root. The first one, the one that you should wake up in the morning with, is the one at the bottom of this screen, 396 hertz. It's for your root chakra. They're 30 minutes long, and it's a good just background music for just doing your meditation or your mindful walking or whatever you do. A nice way to start your day, get you back into that zone. And not gonna lie, when I was in that weirdness about, oh no, I'm not good enough, I was like, part of my tool set now includes some really grounded hertz music. So it's just on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look up CSL Leesburg Live, you'll find us. The actual link is right there, or you could QR code your way to it. Save that, bookmark it, subscribe, you know all the things. My goal is to also make sure that our center has many offerings that people can find many paths to get here. So this is just another one of them. So if you have, Suze said, oh, I'm going to listen to this while I sleep. And there will be some more that groovy sometimes. So anyway, let's get back to Tamara.
Okay. Wow. You know what? I love that we are constantly moving forward and not running away from new technology, being curious, like Reverend Charlene talked about in her message today. And what else can I do? What is happening with AI? And how can I use this to my advantage? How can I use this to increase my spiritual awareness and include it in my practice? So thank you, Reverend Charlene. You're always bringing us something new. Love it.
Oh, hey,
All right. So
tell them about Leah. She said she has most of her music is on This Is Leah Music. I'll put it in the show notes. You see
all
that in
right.
the chat? Do you see it?
Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Oh yeah, you have your iPad up.
Got to pull up chats. So there's a question. Yeah, I have some CDs of Leah's. I
Now it's
do.
all online. So
Because you just can't get enough of it. So go into our chat and we have the information for her website is www. This is Leah. Leah is capitalized LEA.com. And you can listen to her music. And you know how it is, guys. You hear it, it's one potato chip, you want some more because it's just so good. That's what I call it, one potato chip. That's what you get today when you join our service, but you're going to want more. You're going to want the whole bag. And go to this site and you get to have music with Leah. And Leah is doing amazing things with AI too. It's really fun to see how far can we ride this wave? Like let's just see where this takes us. And it's awesome. All right, folks, before we do our closing affirmation, I want to remind you that we do something called Pearls. This is where we hang out with each other. We do our little virtual coffee hour and we talk about what's happening in your life, some updates that we might need on what's happening in your life, and any books, movies, what resonated with you, what do you want to question? What do you have to find out about? What would you like to explore some more? And we hang out with each other and we just chat. And if you're new to CSL Leesburg, you are more than welcome to hop on and introduce yourself. If you're uncomfortable turning on your video, you can just add something in the chat. But this is where we love to hear from you. And just this is where we celebrate our community. So with that being said, let's do our closing affirmation. You ready? You heard this word mentioned a lot in our service today. Love. Here we go. I am love.
I am love.
Thank you, because you know what I'm going to say next. Unmute yourselves. You know I need to hear you. So this message goes out to whoever you know needs this message right now. It might be somebody in the room with you, a friend, a family member, a furry companion. It can be somebody who is separated, somebody who is one of those people but is not right with you at this moment. Or, oh my gosh, I'm such a believer in this. You know somebody, maybe a close relative, a close friend, or maybe it's somebody that you just heard about who lives in your community, in your state, in your country, or on the other side of the world who needs this message. Let's just send this out. This is so powerful. You ready? You are love.
You are love.
All
Yes.
right. And like Reverend Charlene reminded us, it is all love. It is all love. You ready? Here we go. It's all love.
All
It's
love.
all love.
It's all love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us. Please stay if you can. We'd love to chat with you. We'd like to catch up, find out what's happening in your life. But, I understand there's to-do lists. There's things that we have to pack into the day. If you have to run off, we thank you so much for joining us. And we know that you will have a blessed week. That's it. It's a wrap for this last Sunday in May.